Hey, it's Joe Moya, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. You ever got involved with the guy and everything's great in the beginning, but then somewhere over time, things start to change and you're wondering, should you stay or should you go? Well, if so, I want you to pay close attention because today we're going to talk about the three signs which let you know it's time to walk away. Now, the first sign is that when a guy violates one of your deal breakers. And what's a deal breaker? A deal breaker is simply, this is something that's vitally important to me. And when he crosses that line, it's no longer good. It's time to go. Now, that could be is that he's dishonest, he cheats on you, he's physically or verbally abusive. This is the one where it's real obvious. Now, I know this sounds like common sense, but so many times the guy will come back, oh, I'm sorry, right? And then you're like, oh, well, he's a good guy. He's really hot. He's attractive. So I'll let it go. No, you got to be clear on your deal breakers. And the second that guy crosses that line, it's time for him to go because a good man will never violate that deal breaker. Now, the second one, and this is more when you've been with the guy for a while and, he was really nice in the beginning and everything was great in the beginning. But then things change and all of a sudden you see a side of him that wasn't there in the beginning. And I believe that's the true self. I think that person you fell in love with or that you were attracted to in the beginning was a representative. It wasn't who they really were. But now you're in a relationship with someone and you're like, damn, what's going on? And so the time to walk away is when you know that you did everything you could. Now, what I mean by that is not that you did everything you could and you become a human doormat to let this guy treat you the way he wants to be treat you, where he dishonors and disrespects you, but where you did everything you could from your heart to love this person, to support them, yet they still don't change. And they're not giving you the love, the honor, the respect that you deserve. Now, when you know in your heart that you did everything you could and you can leave that relationship and look back and say, you know what, I've got no regrets, that's a great sign to know that it's time to walk away. And the third sign that lets you know when to walk away is simply when they're not changing. When you hear a guy say, well, that's just the way I am. When a person says that's just the way I am, what they're saying is that the way I'm being works for me and I don't want to change or I don't need to change. Or they're saying, I would like to change, but I can't change. And they're not willing to change. See, I believe every human being has the potential to change. But when you understand psychology and how the human brain works, it's very difficult for people to change without wanting to change for themselves and then actually going to do the work to change. So trust me on that. That's a lesson that I learned the hard way. I spent 2.5 years with someone who wanted to change, who tried to change. And so I stayed there and I did everything I could to love her and support her. And ultimately, she never changed. And it was a lesson that I learned the hard way, which is why I'm sharing it with you, is that again, a person can change if they want to change, but if they're not doing the work and they're not changing for themselves, ultimately they're going to revert back to who they're being now. So I always say, don't date a person's potential. Don't fall in love with a person's potential. Don't stay with a person because of who they were in the beginning. See who they're constantly and consistently showing up as, because that's who they really are. So I want you to go back and I want you to review this video and I want you to really write down these 3 steps. And I want you to get clear and I want you to look back over your past and see, where did you possibly go wrong? Again, not to beat yourself up, not to make yourself wrong, but to see where can you learn? What do you need to do differently as you go forward to help yourself in finding and having the relationship you desire and deserve? So go ahead, take that mirror time. And then once you do that, go ahead and put your questions, comments, and feedback in the box below. As always, honor and privilege to be with you. I'll see you next time. Much love.